Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Oh, excuse me. Um, yeah, Claressa Shields, God bless her. I mean, I made a video a couple of days ago regarding this footage that was leaked. The fact that she was floored by a big left hook. You've probably seen the clip. This was by a guy who had I think it's a 6-1-1 record. By the way, I read afterwards that the one defeat was to Rolly Romero, stoppage in I think 2 rounds. Which, okay, I don't want to disrespect Rolly too much because he's got the guts to get in the ring, and good luck to him. But he ain't the greatest world title holder ever, is he? Let's be honest. And this guy, like I say, 6-1-1. I think he was a 140 fighter. Claressa is, shall we say, a middleweight, 160-ish. And as you could see from the clip, she got flattened. I don't think she was out cold, but she was definitely put on her back and not her backside by this, unsung 140-pounder. So this doesn't seem to have diminished Claressa's views, though, on how females, specifically herself, can defeat male fighters. And this is such a nonsensical argument that I just struggle to sort of believe that anyone can actually really believe it. Where does it come from? This idea that a woman of 160 can take on a man of 160. I mean, first of all, Claressa Shields has 2 KOs on her record, her undefeated record, and she says, "I've won 13 belts against who?" And I know that. Look, if you follow this channel, you will know I'm a big supporter of women's boxing, and I cover women's boxing. But let's not, live in la la land here. Let's not become delusional like Claressa seems to be. Okay, there is a dearth of talent at the highest level. And yes, the game is growing. I don't believe in ridiculing it. I believe in supporting it. But we have to be honest. We have to be real about this. If she was a male 160-pounder, she would not have picked up 13 belts in, 3 or 4 divisions? 3 divisions, I think. Twice undisputed at, was it super middleweight or middleweight? Whatever the hell it is. I mean, she's won belts all over the place. And I'm not diminishing her skills, her ability. She's a very, very good fighter. But when she says, I, as a woman, with 2 KOs on my record, could beat Gennady Golovkin, which she has actually said. Never mind Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman's only a welterweight. We won't worry about him. Obviously, she could beat him. But no, Gennady Golovkin. She thinks she could beat Gennady Golovkin. I mean, this is so wide of the mark that you've got to ask yourself, is she doing this because she's genuinely delusional? She genuinely believes this stuff that comes out of her mouth, kind of like the rubbish that Fury talks or Wilder talks or a few of the others. Or is she doing it, for what the modern vernacular is clout? Is she clout chasing? I hope it's the latter, but I actually think she probably does believe some of this rubbish as well. Or she's so desperate to believe it that there's that self-denial. There is a point where self-aggrandizing becomes, absolutely, where you just enter the land of the pixies and the fairies. And I think she's long taken up residency there. Now, you have to ask, where did this come from? Well, I think you can trace it back to Ronda Rousey, because she was I'm in my mid-50s, the first time I ever heard anyone saying I can beat men, a female combat sportswoman, was Ronda Rousey. And to my astonishment and amusement at the same time, bemusement, a lot of people were agreeing on, yeah, absolutely. Now, this was even more ludicrous than the idea that Conor McGregor was ever going to beat Floyd Mayweather. Lots of people picked McGregor to beat Mayweather. At least McGregor's a fucking man. The idea of Rousey in the people were saying, if it was in the cage, she'd win easily. Really? Oh, really? Yeah. Why? Because Floyd can't grapple. Because Ronda was an Olympian jiu-jitsu Olympian, and she's won titles at jiu-jitsu, and of course, I mean, what's being said here? Did you see Rousey getting lit up by Amanda Nunes purely from punches? No, Floyd in the cage would almost certainly level her and level any woman. Level Nunes. Nunes herself has been beaten by women. She's better in the cage than I think Rousey ever was. But so again, where does this come from? This idea that women can beat men. Some people were actually saying Rousey could beat Floyd. They were saying, look, there are exceptions to any general rule. So if you've got a middleweight, let's say a Savannah Marshall, a super middleweight, who fights an established professional flyweight. Let's put, I'm doing this off the cuff, but let's put Savannah Marshall in with Sonny Edwards. All right, so Sonny is, 5'3", very small. Savannah's about 5'10", 5'11", probably weighs more, in terms of natural weight, probably weighs about 35 pounds more than him. 2.5 stone, say, for the sake of argument. 2.5 stone, roughly, let's say. Could she have a way with Sonny? Yeah, it's feasible, it's possible, it's not impossible. But when you just flat out ignore the idea that, such issues as muscle mass, bone density, testosterone levels, and so on and so forth, and you just completely throw it out the window. I mean, we're getting into the realms of the sort of nonsensical arguments we hear about from the transgender movement, which are so preposterous and so defying of facts, and so absolutely beyond the pale fantasy, that you have to ask, well, what's the agenda behind it? What is the real agenda? It's certainly not factual. It's certainly got nothing to do with science. So I think Claressa needs to, maybe she needs to go away and smoke some whatever Wilder's smoking, I don't know. But it is kind of ridiculous. She's continued to throw her toys out of the pram. In fact, she's thrown the pram, never mind the toys. She got out of the pram and threw the pram at whoever doesn't listen to her. Because someone in my comments, one of the comment sections of one of my videos said, with Claressa, it's you're either for her or you're against her. Any kind of criticism, no matter how remote, no matter how soft, no matter how well-intended, no matter how constructive, is an enemy, is a hater, as they say today. And this is really quite ridiculous, isn't it? To have a grown woman behaving like this. And let's not forget, she lost in the cage to a female fighter as well. So anyway, I just thought I just find her, it's so ridiculous that in this day and age, well, anybody can think that a female fighter is going to have any chance against a man of similar weight. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that is not to disparage women, and it's not to disparage women's boxing. It's on the contrary, I support women's boxing, which is why I'm opposed to transgender women fighting real women. It's obscene to me. The idea of a man hitting a woman, I cannot think of anything more misogynistic. But hey, we live in very, very strange times. Very, very strange times indeed. Anyway, if you've got any thoughts, leave them below. I'll have a nosy and reply to as many as I can. Thank you as always. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new, and also hit the like button if you could. That would help us out a lot. And of course, spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.